Anthony Slater here with Darnell Mayberry at the peak for the Thunder Bob Moore Ford post-game wrap. In Darnell, 106-94 Thunder over the Spurs. It's been a long time since we saw a real good basketball game here, probably since the last Rockets game. What'd you think? I mean, really just a good basketball game overall.
A really good basketball game. Highly competitive teams going at it. They know that they could meet again in the playoffs. The Spurs hadn't won against this team this season. They were 3-0 coming in. They wanted to try to get the win. We all were kind of wondering if Greg Popovich was going to play his players. He didn't play Manu Ginobili, but he played Tim Duncan and Tony Parker, Kawhi Leonard, and it didn't matter. The Spurs winning streak came to an end at 19 games.
I think tonight it really kind of all started with defense when they really cranked it up late in the second quarter into the second half. I think they won the third quarter 32-20. The Spurs just couldn't get good looks, couldn't get looks they've been used to, in this 19-game winning streak. A lot of that I think had to do with Serge Ibaka down low, blocking a lot of shots, altering shots, but it really came from everywhere. I think they had 14 steals. Russell Westbrook had 4. What did you just think of that, defensive effort overall?
Yeah, I know you wrote about it for Friday's paper, and that's one of the reasons this Spurs team struggles with the Thunder is the length of Oklahoma City really poses challenges and problems that the Spurs don't really see in any other team. I mean, you got Serge Ibaka, you got Kendrick Perkins, who was back tonight, Kevin Durant's length, Russell Westbrook's length and activity. All these guys are just flying to the ball, and shots that are generally open for San Antonio are not against the Thunder.
Russell Westbrook was really big tonight. In a night that Kevin Durant, he extended his 25-point streak, but he really wasn't that great tonight. Russell Westbrook, I thought, was the star. I know you wrote about him for tomorrow's paper. What did you write about?
Thanks for returning that plug. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
But Russell Westbrook was fantastic tonight. I mean, he was all over the floor on both ends. He holds Tony Parker to 6 points on 3 of 10 shooting, and then he comes out and scores 27 points and really makes up for an off shooting night for Kevin Durant. Off night, he still scores a game-high 28 points. That's how good he is. But Russell Westbrook just did it all. I thought his energy really changed the game. From start to finish, he was just all over the floor, and he really impacted this ball game.
And he really wasn't the only Thunder point guard to kind of torch the Spurs. Thunder killer Reggie Jackson had another big game against the Spurs. Greg Popovich may try to sign him to a max deal after what he's done to them this year. What do you think of him? I mean, I think he's really kind of turned it around the last month, starting with that game in Toronto where Russell kind of went down, and then he really stepped up in that game. I think he's been really good since. I mean, obviously he had those 2 games that he missed.
Yeah, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists tonight. I think he was 6 of 8 from the field. And he's really just playing under control. He's making his teammates better. He's making the smart, easy play instead of trying to be, flashy or do too much. So I think you really saw that start a few games back where he's just really making the extra pass, and he's not trying to force it or do anything that's sort of out of his realm right now. So I think he's playing great basketball. And if you can keep that up going into the playoffs, you're going to get that dynamic player that we sort of grew accustomed to seeing before that slump.
Yeah, kind of a statement win by the Thunder, but, it doesn't really last long. I think you probably got a flight to catch to Houston in, a couple hours, right?
Don't remind me.
Yeah, big game. I mean, maybe not as big as this one, but it's a good test tomorrow in Houston against the Rockets, who won't have Patrick Beverley. I don't know if they'll have Dwight Howard or not, but still a good game on the second night of a back-to-back that Russell Westbrook won't play.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a huge test. I mean, I know you love that rivalry, or budding rivalry, I should say, with the Rockets and the Thunder. James Harden, there's always that storyline. And look, I mean, this is a Thunder team that's trying to hold off the Clippers for the 2nd seed. So even if you can't catch San Antonio for the top spot, you're still trying to hold off the Clippers and not fall to 3. You want to get that 2 seed if you can't get the 1st seed. So that's a big game in Houston tomorrow.
That'll do it for us here at the Thunder Post-Game Show, presented by Bob Moore Ford. For the best Thunder coverage team anywhere, stay tuned to newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoma.